Alright, so hey guys, today we're going to be talking a little bit about getting Ableton to trigger itself. And this is really useful for a number of situations. I have a friend who is in a band right now, and he needs to have a trigger that when he activates, it causes a fade out to happen over a particular period of time. In this example, we want it to be a number of musical intervals so that he can do it on beat. And so let's have a look at that. Um, what we're going to do is we're going to use a MIDI clip in Ableton to trigger itself. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to come over here to our audio MIDI setup. And you'll see this thing that says IAC driver. You go in your MIDI settings. This is actually a very useful thing on a Mac. This actually is essentially a MIDI bus that allows you to send MIDI to and from various programs on your Mac. So I could send something from Pro Tools to Ableton or Logic to Ableton and vice versa. In this case, we are going to create a bus. You see this port section here. That is our loop back function. Basically what's going to happen is that we're going to use a MIDI track to send out of Ableton on this loop back track. And then it's going to come back into Ableton on that same track under the remote function of Ableton. So now that we've created this bus, you're going to have to do this on your device as well. You just hit the plus sign, make sure your device is online, hit the plus sign, add a bus, make sure you name it something useful. You can name these whatever you want. You can see I've got, Ableton to Pro Tools to Ableton, iPad to DAW, and so on and so forth. And in this particular example, I like to use Ableton Loopback because I know that's the bus that I'm using for using Ableton to trigger itself. So then in Ableton, once you have that bus, we have to come in here into our MIDI setup. And you'll see that we've got a bunch of I/O. I've got some Yukon stuff. I've got Easy Drummer. I've got a couple of remote things. Network MIO thing that's pretty fun to play with. And what we're looking for in particular is on this input side, we want to see this Ableton loopback function, and I want to make sure that remote is checked. That will allow me to have any MIDI that's incoming on this IAC driver to be mapped to any function. So if you hit Command M, anything that lights up in blue, we can now map using this remote function. And then on the output side, we're going to come down here and we're going to have a look at this IAC driver Ableton loopback, and we want to make sure the track is selected. That's very important because we're going to have a MIDI clip, a dummy MIDI clip on a track that's sending out to the IAC driver and then loops back in as the remote. So over here I've created a MIDI track, and I'm sending that output of that track to the IAC driver. And we're using the Ableton Loopback driver. And we're going to do channel 14. I work in a venue where I have a sound desk, a lighting desk, and then typically a couple of laptops. So I usually have sound on 16, lighting on 15, and then laptops 14, 13, and so on and so forth. So I try to just keep that standard across all of my platforms so I don't get confused when I'm moving around. And so the first thing we're going to do here is that you just need to create a MIDI track. So I'm just going to create a MIDI track. You can see I kind of already did that here. And then what you want to do is you want to make sure you come in here to your envelope section. And then I'm going to come over here to MIDI control, and I'm just going to pick a value. In this case, I don't know, let's do 102 just for giggles. And now I can draw whatever I want in here. We're going to come over here like 105, I think 106. Go to the front, and then on the end we'll go all the way down. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to put us in MIDI map mode. Actually, I'm going to delete the one that I had there already. But now I'm going to click this one, and we're going to hit go. Now, theoretically, when I hit go, this dummy track, this dummy clip, will launch, and it will send out this MIDI CC message, this MIDI CC fade out that we've just made, out channel 14, and then we should see that value coming back in. So I'm just going to hit spacebar, and theoretically it should map. Bam, there it goes. So now, take it, Command M, take it out of that mode. Now if I hit go, we should have a nice fast fade out on that track. Done. And we're looping. Make sure you take loop off, unless you want it to loop like that. Yeah, and that's that. So now we've got a nice triggerable moment, and that faded out my master track. Now obviously a 1-bar fade is kind of fast. I probably want to do something a little bit longer, but that is the basic function. You can really use this to do anything. So like, say for instance I wanted a, let's come over here to my notes section, and say for instance I wanted, I don't know, let's do C-2 with a value of like 1. And then I am going to set that to launch this. So let's actually duplicate this guy real quick. And let's remove the MIDI. Remove the automation from this thing. I'll use the eraser on this. Alright. Let's just do this real quick so I can show you. I've got a countdown. I'm going to go here. Okay, there we go. So for instance, I want. I'm going to map this now to my track 1. Yeah. So now, when I launch, so now theoretically, when I launch this bit, I should also see this fade out, because now we've got our fade that's going to happen there. We're going to go bam. Next beat, we're going to launch. There's my fade. Oh, and it's still looping. Anyway, that's it.